Merry meet and welcome to Lux Dragon Queen Magic. I'm Taylor and today is our Divine Femme Collective reading. This one has gone a little bit longer in between the Divine Masculine and Divine Femme reading. For that purpose is simply because there was a matter of uncovering the truth that was coming out and revealing our true selves to the world. And so with that, over these last few weeks, we have been shedding that energy. And at the time of this recording, we are still shedding that energy. We are at a pinnacle peak of letting go of what no longer serves us so that we can truly step into the abundance, step into what we're meant to within our lifetime. And so with that, we are now going to be able to receive the message from our Divine Feminine side to allow us to understand how we can soften into this energy a little bit more and start to grow as we come into the new moon coming up in a few days. So with that, what is our final release? And we're going to understand a little bit more again around balancing out between our internal energies, as well as if you are here to check in with a twin flame connection. So there definitely is a message for you here today. With that, let's go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, what we have today is Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. So the main message coming forward in regards to this is the fact that your courage gives birth to the divine of yourself. So understand that you are not only encouraging those around you, you are leading by example, because as you start to be more courageous, start to allow yourself to shed that mask that is no longer serving you, to allow yourself to connect and assimilate with the situation and understand better in regards to how you have chosen to make yourself be shown differently externally versus how you feel internally. And so now you're finding the courage to show what is truly inside of you, and you're also starting to do more things that you want to do. So you're no longer letting something hold you back is a main message coming through from here. The other thing too is to understand that you are a ripple effect. So as you are going through your own learnings, through your own growth, you are going to not only, there is a message here about your twin flame will then of course be mirroring that, but the people around you will also be mirroring it. So this ripple effect will go so far reaching, and there is a message here that you not truly understand or know the scope of how far those ripples, those vibrations kept going out. And so simply right now you're changing your own frequency, and it's going to change so much more than you. It's going to change so much more than just your environment. It's going to kind of like change the culture around you is what I'm hearing. So like you may not see physical change, but it's going to seem almost like a parallel universe change. Like certain situations are going to be made more apparent to you, as well as you're going to be a lot more clear conscious, a lot more clear minded as you kind of navigate the world. So you're in a taking in information moment over the course of these couple of weeks, but as you're taking in this information, you're letting go of any fear. You're letting go of anything that is holding you back, and you're allowing yourself to truly express your wants, your needs, your desires. You're starting to advocate for yourself more. So with that, we do have our Moonology coming up. So taking a look into this energy around this final waning moment, what else do we need to release? What is the message of this waning crescent moon, as well as what is the outcome of releasing this? So first, we do have Balanced Spirituality and Practicality, full moon in Pisces. So I really enjoy this coming out because, as we just said, a lot of this is that your physical world is not really changing, but your internal world is. And so as you're going through that, you're going to start forcing the changes in your external world to match that internal desire. And that's really what you're going to be seeing, is having this balance. You're going to be giving yourself a lot of grace in regards to recognizing, like, well, this is how I do this. This is how I've done it for years. I've tried to fight against this side of me for years as well, and that hasn't really worked. How can I lean into this part of me instead? How can I, like, for instance, I really struggle when it starts to get dark that I want to stop working. I want to naturally start to rest. I want to naturally not do very many things. I also have a certain hang up around turning on my lights and having my neighbors comment on the fact of when I go to sleep or wake up. So I really struggle with having lights on in my house as well. Maybe sharing too much, but you know, I'm human and I'm working through these things. So something that I recognized though is I would get home from work and I would not be able to really function and do things that I needed to get done around the house. And so instead I leaned into the fact that I'm a morning person. So I would just wake up earlier. And through waking up earlier, I had a lot more energy to get done those things so that when I got home from work, I could just relax And instead of shaming myself for being done mentally, physically, and emotionally at 5 p.m., instead I just started my day at 5 a.m. So don't let the way that society or the way that others live their lives affect the way that you live your life. Instead, lean into the way, if you're like, okay, I've done this for years, why am I still fighting against this? It's time to lean into it instead. And so that's how you're going to start finding this balance as you're moving into shedding. That's also why you are shedding certain parts of yourself, because you're shedding the shame over feeling bad. You're shedding the guilt over not being enough. You're shedding any energy that tells you that you are not able to move forward in a way that makes sense to you. So you are instead coming to realize that you do understand yourself. You do understand how you want to move forward in life, and now you're just simply going to start taking those steps and stop holding yourself back. Next, we have time to breathe out, disseminating moon. So this is going to be our advice with this moon, right? So as you're starting to understand everything that is coming forward with you, this energy that is asking you to bring more balance between these two energies that exist inside of you, it's going to take time. Giving yourself grace, allowing yourself to breathe out, and allowing yourself to take pause and just check in with where you're at. For instance, another project that I'm working on is I want to really reorganize my home. It's kind of gotten out of how I want it to be and how I find joy in my space. And so now I want to reorganize it. So there's so many things that I have ideas for, and I get overwhelmed around like, okay, well, how can I do this and still be eco-friendly? And so instead what I'm doing is I'm now just taking note of, all right, I want a better way to organize my shoes. Great. Okay, I want a better way to organize my crafts versus crafts that still need to be made, because I'm notoriously starting projects and then stopping in the middle of them. So I need better ways to organize. So I'm just making notes rather than shaming myself for not having a solution immediately. I'm just making notes. And then when I have time, I'm going to go back and be like, great, I can now focus on this project a little bit. What do I need? What do I need to look up? What do I need to research? And I allow myself a planning phase, because that's so important. So just understand that you are not jumping into this brand new life. You are crafting it. And so with crafting it means that it's going to take you time. It's going to take you organization. It's going to take you movement and pausing in order to get it right and to get it going. So that's what you're going to be releasing during these final waning moments, is this understanding that everything needs to be done in perfect right away. Instead, you're going to allow yourself to start to actually grow and celebrate your process rather than shaming it. And then our final outcome with the moon is going to be step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So it really just kind of sums it up that, like, through all this, you're going to find that balance, you're going to find that courage, you're going to be able to pause and breathe out during this entire process, and you're going to find yourself outside of your comfort zone. You're going to find yourself so far expanded that your comfort zone is going to, I'm getting like the image of a mansion. So your comfort zone is going to be so large that there's going to be places that you don't get to visit as often, to where that's like when nostalgia starts coming in. So you're creating this very beautiful cycle where you're able to visit happiness in multiple areas, and you're always comfortable at where you're at in the world. So definitely take it however it resonates, but you're going through some very big transformation, and just go you. So rock on with that. Now for our Shadowscapes Tarot, we do have the King of Pentacles coming out right side up. I enjoy this energy coming out for us right now, because this is kind of letting you know again that you are cementing yourself within this world. Not necessarily cementing it, because, you know, things can still change, but you are really starting to understand about how you want to be presented within this world, how you want to possibly leave a legacy within this world, as well as just how you want to live your day-to-day life. So you're going from understanding the present moment to the future moment and letting go of that past moment. And it's this really beautiful energy where you're just kind of understanding more about the world, let alone yourself. And then we do have the Three of Wands. So this is expansion. So with the King of Pentacles, this coming out together is so important, because you are looking over the horizon. You are excited about a new venture. You have put in the plans. You are not at the Two of Wands. You have put in the plans for how you want to move forward. And now you're starting to see the horizon. You're starting to see how each step you take does get you closer, even though that horizon is moving as well. And so you're able to recognize your journey a little bit more. Also, this means with the King of Pentacles that you have set yourself up for so much success that you are ready for this expansion. So if you have been nervous about taking that next step in your career, if you have been nervous about doing anything in regards to your own like self-employment or anything in regards to a big project or passion that you have been kind of putting on the back burner but kind of has been always a part of your soul journey, you're going to be able to take this as a sign that you can move forward, that you are ready to take that next step. You are ready to start building the foundations that comes with the Four of Wands. You are ready to start celebrating where you are at and where you are going. Okay, so definitely take that how it resonates. We want to celebrate ourselves here. Now we have our Sacred Power reading cards. So first we do have angel assistance. So definitely make sure you are reaching out to your guides. This is advice on how to support you during this letting go period as you step into understanding balance and more about the world. So you're going to want to go ahead and make sure you're still reaching out to those powerful guides, that you are still speaking to a higher source, so that you are still letting go of that energy, because that's really what you're doing. You're letting go of the energy to be cleansed and healed by another source, and then that new energy is able to come back in. It is a cycle. So you're not doing this alone. Never think that you're alone. And then we do have abundance coming out as well. So absolutely love this, especially again with that King of Pentacles card. So this is really letting you know that you have everything that you need. Success is on your side. This is why you're feeling probably more courageous, because just internally, spiritually, you know that you have got the world in your hands, that you know how it turns, how it spins, and you know how you're able to move forward within this lifetime. So keep moving forward. Now we do have our Sacred Self-Care to end on. For these ones, I was called to also read the journal prompts. So you may resonate with one or both of these. You may want to do a combination, or you may just want to look at the journal prompts and work with those. So first we have Hydrate still coming out. This is coming out with the last one. I don't really have any extra notes, but if you didn't watch the last reading, essentially understand that hydration and water in general is so good because it is a very simple natural element that is used for transition and for witchcraft and supporting the way that you want to move forward within this life. And so make sure that you are hydrating yourself, because that's going to help you bring more balance and ease the situation. So if you are ever feeling stressed, I encourage you to say, you know what, I just need to grab me a quick cup of water. Drink that cup of water before you even say another word, and you will feel better after. You will probably have an idea come to you while you're drinking that water, a solution, a way to move past the situation that you're currently in, so that you can step further into expressing yourself. Okay, and so with Hydrate, the journal prompt is, are you happy with your water source? If not, how can you upgrade your water supply? So something to think about, especially if you want to know more about where your water actually comes from. I know a lot of us would be like, well, I just grab it from the sink and the tap, but where does that water come from? How is it filtered? So maybe this is a call to go down that journey and understand a little bit more, especially if something you're passionate about is being more environmentally minded. And so next we have Connect with Crystals. Here, it's not focusing. Connect with Crystals, number 11, and Hydrate was 27. So Connect with Crystals. This is going to be very interesting. I'm getting a couple of messages. One, this is a way to connect with a higher source. So if you are like, I don't really believe in angels, I don't really like believe in higher self, or like have a spiritual guide that I connect with, maybe you are, a lot of this is around the earthly realm now that I think about it, maybe you are more connected to the element of earth, and so this is going to be a great time for you to connect with crystals, whether or not you have a crystal. Like, it could just be like rings. That's one of my favorite ways to connect with a crystal, is to put it on my fingers, and depending on what the finger correlates with, I use a combination of all that. But you can just use the information that you have. So maybe you have a favorite ring you like to wear, and maybe wear that during a like job interview, so that you know, like, okay, I'm going to wear this, I know it makes me feel good, and I know with this on I will be more courageous and speak up for myself. And just say like a little mantra right before you go. Or worry stones are so big, I have a couple myself. And something that I think is really interesting, one of the ones I have, it fits perfectly in my palm, and I'm pretty sure it hits on a certain like nerves within my hand, to where it tells the brain to like give a certain calmness to you. So there are some scientific ways to connect with crystals, and there are some ways to just give yourself a pep talk, and there's everything in between. So however this resonates for you, I just encourage you to find something pretty that you really like and carry it around with you a little bit more this upcoming weeks. And now the journal prompts for this one. What crystal do you resonate with the most or find the most attractive? So there you go. Maybe you don't want to grab an actual crystal, but maybe just think about it. With that, my loves, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Please do not forget to comment below. Let us know what you are letting go, what crystals maybe you're connecting with, and maybe your favorite hydration tips. With that, though, I'll definitely see you guys next time. Blessed be.